Happy you could come along. We are joined, as always, by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes Red Apron at Eastern Market and in Merrifield, also GBD in DuPont Circle. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Good to see you, Brian.
What do we have on tap this week?
So this week is a beer that I've been meaning to do for a while, ever since we did its companion piece, Wheeze, way back when.
Yeah, sometime last summer, maybe?
It was exactly what it was,
okay.
Because we're back to Maine Beer Company. You know, I think it's funny when we do the show. You know, we inevitably do a number of beers from a certain cadre of breweries. I think if you kind of look at the whole history of the over 2 years now, I think we've been doing this, you'll see some breweries pop up quite a bit, and there's good reason, because these are the breweries that just make flat out the best stuff around. I mean, Maine Beer Company, if you're talking about IPAs and approach and freshness and everything else, the Kleben brothers up there, Dan and Dave, just have it down pat. So last summer, much to the delight of Maine Beer fans and craft beer fans, they announced the release of not one but two different beers, two new beers at the same time. And they were originally kind of brewed as companions, and one was called Wheeze, which we did, and then another one was called Another One. And the cool thing with these two is that they're basically the same beer, except for a dramatically and radically different malt base. So we're looking at another one right here. You see it's nice, golden color. Gorgeous. Very simple malt bill, so the hops shine through. 7% American IPA. You've got, you know, pale malt, base malt, just golden, and then some carapils, which gives you a little bit more texture, toasty, slight caramelized, but still crisp qualities. And then some red wheat that gives you a little bit more mouthfeel as well, but also is great for head retention, giving you a nice big pop of foam and carbonation. And yet with Wheeze, it's pitch black in color. It's kind of a black IPA. So this is definitely going to be more hop forward, because the malts take a back seat.
That is good.
That's really great. And actually, we know a couple weeks ago we talked about Lagunitas Sucks, which bears certain resemblance to this beer aromatically, because you use so much Simcoe hops. Now you get Simcoe here as well. That's that kind of piney, resinous, mildly funky quality. But there's more citrus going on here, and that's from the addition of Cascade hops, which give it a kind of floral, lemony note, but also the ever popular and rightfully so Citra varietal. So I mean, the one thing about Maine Beer Company is, like, it's one thing to say that your beer is dry hopped with these hops, but it's the way that they use the Simcoe, the Citra, and the Cascade. They use the exact right amount of each, so you get this just perfect balanced hoppy aroma. You know.
Yeah, and it's. I love their beers. There's also Mo, and
Zoe, and Lunch.
Yeah,
which is the
I thought there was another
IPA.
one that I can't think of with green name on the label.
Well, Peeper is like they're probably the most well known. And we always have that on draft at Church Key, and one of the greatest things about Peeper is that it's this light, kind of just crisp, effervescent, refreshing beer, golden ale that has great hop presence to it, but it's so drinkable. And originally it was called Spring Peeper to kind of announce that spring time feel for the beer, but now it's just Peeper, and it's great year round.
What would you pair this with?
This is, you know, it's still an IPA. It's pretty hoppy. It's not the easiest for pairing purposes, but, you know, I think as long, you know, I do gravitate towards certain ethnic cuisines with IPAs. I think that the fruit-forward notes in the nose, that kind of spice, the pepper, the floral, the herbal notes, lend it to Thai cuisine and you know, Vietnamese cuisine and things like that, because, you know, you got basil. Anywhere you got basil and cilantro, it's just, piney hop aromatics are fantastic. But I always have to say that you want to watch the heat on that, because something that's real spicy, getting hit with these hops is going to make it really, really spicy. But I was just thinking the other day, like something like Larb Gai, which is that great kind of Thai ground chicken salad with a little acidity. It's spicy. It's got that cilantro character to it. It's really, really, it's really great. with this kind of thing, with this kind of beer as well.
All right, keep it up, guys. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.